Welcome to This Is What I Do, where we explore the work that is waiting to be done in our community. I'm your host, Amy Seymour. Today we're talking to Kera Howell from Ravenna High School. Welcome, Kera.
Thank you.
We're pleased to have her here. We are the Rotary Club of Muskegon, a part of Rotary International, a group of more than 1.4 million individuals from around the world whose goal is to create lasting positive change. We've been doing that here in Muskegon since 1916. One of our goals is improving the local economy. This vocational spotlight program assists students in making rewarding career choices. We hope that they can remain in our community and improve life here for all of us. That's why we're here today. So, Kera, please tell us who you are and what you do.
Thank you for having me. My name is Kera Howell, and I am an Agriscience teacher and FFA advisor at Ravenna High School. I have been at Ravenna this is my first year there, but I've been teaching for 4 years now. I am from Fremont, Michigan, so not too far away, but I grew up there and went to Michigan State. I got my bachelor's degree from Michigan State in agriculture, food, and natural resources education. Went back and got my master's degree in agriculture education and have been working as an agri-science teacher here in the state of Michigan since.
What about your job do you find to be the most interesting?
I would say the most interesting part of my day is that everything is different day to day. So I'm a type A person. I like routine. I like structure. But the things I'm teaching, the content, the activities we are doing, changes on a day-to-day basis, which I really enjoy. I couldn't go into the same environment every day and do the same tasks on the computer for the same amount of time. I like that my job involves, some administrative work, working on my computer, talking to people, doing projects, doing hands-on activities, and that it just can change based on what we're doing each day.
Tell us what you feel challenged about doing your work.
So I would say challenge-wise, students are my challenge, not in the sense of that they're bad students, but that they are the drivers of their learning and that they are the ones that encourage me to dig deeper, find more information when they have questions that I don't know the answer to. Teachers are not the know-it-alls. Like, we might seem like we know everything, but I don't know everything. Right? I went into education to be a lifelong learner. And that's one of the best parts of my job is that I get to learn alongside with kids too.
What do you believe was most difficult part of getting your job now?
So the pathway to become a teacher has changed over time. Student teaching at Michigan State, it used to be a year-long requirement, which was a huge barrier for students on many levels because there's costs that are associated with that students just don't want to take on that burden. But they're changing the way that system works now. And pretty much you can be done with student teaching and you get your degree in 4 years, which is allowing kids to get into classrooms earlier as college students. So pretty much by the beginning of their sophomore year, they're in working with classrooms, learning from other teachers, seeing how, classroom management works, and getting that experience under their belt. So by the time they get to be a senior, they're in that student teaching placement, learning how to run classrooms, writing their own curriculum and content. And then after that, they can go out and apply for a job and be ready to go out into the world.
I think kids are really savvy now about cost and
yes,
the cost of college and
definitely.
Having to pay it back.
And having those conversations is good. Like it's okay to be scared to go to college and go into debt, but you have to also see it as an investment in yourself and an investment in your future to better yourself as an individual.
And invest back in your community.
Definitely.
What is the most challenging part about keeping your job?
I would say the demands of being specifically an agriculture teacher. So it's a year-long commitment, a year-round commitment. A lot of teachers, people think, you have summers off, which is great. But even if I'm a general education teacher, a lot of people work in the summer to prepare content, go to conferences, be active in their community. So they don't necessarily get a true break. They're not going into school every day, but they're still doing learning as lifelong learners. Being an agriculture teacher, I have to help kids go show at fair. I have to help them with contests in the summer. I have to get them to events. So mine just requires, a little more planning, a little more time at school, making sure animals are taken care of, making sure plants are watered, and all the things that you might not necessarily think of.
So tell us about how your workplace values its place in the community and what gets done to show it.
Yeah, we did start a community garden at the high school, thanks to a grant from the Muskegon Area ISD, their Healthy Lifestyles grant. That's funded us to build 7 raised garden beds, to buy plants and the vegetables that go in that. And then we're able to give those items back to our local food pantry if that is a good success there. And we raise bees at school, so we harvest that honey and process that honey in the summer, and then can, give back to the community by going to events, teaching them about pollinator gardens, donating that honey to people in need. So it's really showing our community is very proud of what has been built, what Melanie has done to build the Agriscience program at Ravenna, and really wants to see kids still active in the community doing those activities when possible. At Ravenna in general is trying to build a whole well-being student, right? We're trying to teach kids the value of hard work, determination, being on time, like life skills that some kids might not get at home, but at school, we're really trying to say these are things you're going to need in a future career.
And how could a student best prepare to do your job?
I would say getting involved, so getting connected with, specifically if you want to be an ag teacher, Michigan State has a great agriculture education program. But if you want to be a teacher, just talk to someone at your school. I'm sure that every one of you watching right now has a teacher in mind that you could go up and talk to and say, hey, I'm thinking of being a teacher. What do you suggest I do?
Is there anything that we haven't talked about that you would like to share with the students?
Don't be afraid to get involved in something, even if your friends, might think it's kind of weird and quirky. A lot of kids say, oh, FFA seems kind of weird. But it's a great organization, and it will teach you a lot of things.
And we again thank Kara for sharing her story with us today, and we thank you for joining us. If you think this program might help someone else, please send them the link. And until next time, the Muskegon Rotary Club would like you to consider doing something good for your community.